Next is from Michael Thomas, New Orleans Saints wide receiver. Subject to the AEW arena. Hello and respect to all the K100 crew. With AEW struggling to fill these decent-sized arenas on a regular basis now, and Ben Hameen's Tarp Emporium is at full capacity and struggling to meet industry demands for most promoters, this would be a huge cause for concern. I guess you're not if you're a billionaire man-child. But would it be sensible for Tony Khan to rent or indeed build his own little arena, perhaps the size of Impact Zone or the old ECW arena? Daly's place was okay and a bit different, but Jacksonville is boring. Sorry, I've never been in there. Might actually be okay. My question is, which city or state would you build a 1,500 all-seater AEW arena in? Thanks. That's from Michael Sick. He calls himself now. I don't know why. Well, let's look at it this way. They're drawing a little bit more than NXT. WWE is drawing 2 to 3 times as many fans as them, and they're selling out arenas. They're having trouble filling up a quarter size of arenas of the same size that they're going to. Maybe they should be going to an NXT type, arena, like a small arena. And I would put it in either put it in Florida or put it in New York. Is where I would put it. What about you? Vegas, huh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't draw in Vegas.
Yeah, I think perception is everything. You don't want to go from arenas to 1,500 seat or WWEs and big arenas, and you're not. I don't think that's good at all. But maybe rent out or build a 5,000, 10,000 seater, which you can block off.
It's the same people coming to the show each week. This is the problem with them not doing things to increase their fan base. It affects your live attendance, and they keep going back to they keep going back to the same places. And like these fans, you look at the crowd, and these fans do not look like they have the money to support the amount of shows they're doing in the same place all the time. And plus, WWE comes to town every once in a while, and those tickets are more expensive. I don't know. They need to start increasing their fan base. So, and they're not really doing that. Next one's from Richard Hernandez. Subject is AAA versus Impact, the event of the year. What's up, fellas? I want to ask something directly to Conan. How much are you involved in the Clash event? Internet make a lot of buzz about AEW versus New Japan, but this AEW versus Impact is so much better. This Impact full roster versus the very best of AAA. Hey, it's even better card than any of the 3 Triple Manias of this year. By the way, thank you so much. I'm really excited to finally see Shelley and Saban live in my hometown. I'm a huge TNA fan since 2004. P.S. Can you bring the Superior One to be the new leader of Las Shotas, or even the couple of Dulce Canela? Thanks and be safe. What was that last P.S. I didn't understand that.
Okay, so the Shotas are a 3 man-woman group of exoticos.
Right.
And Dulce Canela is one of them, so he wants you to be, I guess, the couple of Dulce or be the manager of the trio. Which one would you be interested in?
Neither. Let's give a yellow card. Mark Richard Hernandez down for yellow card, Joe.
Okay.
How much you involved in the? So what's this event? This Impact AAA versus Impact.
Yeah, it's a show that we're having in Monterrey, Mexico, November 26th. So I'm guessing that's where this guy's from. And let me see if I got the card here real quick. So we'll have, for example, like this match will be great. It's Vikingo and Alex Shelley versus Abismo Negro and Trey Miguel. That match will be great. Then there's another one, Josh Alexander and Octagon Jr. versus Moose and Toxin. That'll be really good. Like, there's a lot of good matches. And so I put that together with Scott D'Amore. At first, I wanted it all AAA versus Impact. He said, no, let's combine them together, which we did. And then it was approved by my boss, Dorian Roldan. Now, it's going to be a good show, but they got good talent. We got good talent. And it's always good to freshen up and give people something new.
Joe, I don't know what just happened. Hang on a minute. Oh, here we go. Okay. The next one is from Brad Price. Subject is Larry Dallas. Is there anything more? Is there anything more annoying than this Larry Dallas guy in the AEW review? Just why? It's a fitting name because he just like the Dallas Cowboys, he brings nothing to the table when he's needed most. Didn't even watch the AEW show. I listened to everything you put out, but if you start putting this guy on more segments, I'm going to have to keep skipping large portions of things. This dude is some podcasting jobber who thinks he runs a show. Dude, no one has ever heard of you. You're an absolute nobody. It's equivalent to me going on a podcast and trying to be the one getting over on established stars. Please get this guy off the show. He provides nothing. I really hope you're not paying him for the podcast. My question is, what would you guys do to get this Roddy Strong Adam Cole segment back on track? Would you ban it altogether with all the segments, treating them like kids? Thanks as always. Love the show, minus Larry Dallas. Let me make a statement here. Conan was not available to record some of the reviews last week. So I had to get Larry. Larry had told me he didn't watch the show. But he followed it enough to know what's going on and said, okay, well, fine. We'll just, so I had him do it with me.
Right.
So, so it wasn't like,
How was he?
Terrible.
All right.
We could tell. I mean, have we heard any emails, Conan, of anybody saying, "Hey, go great having Larry do that"?
Right.
I think because of the fact that he had a couple of drinks at lunch or whatever it was, he was doing a little over talking kind of thing, and I think that annoyed people.
Right.
I asked him if he was drunk, and he said no. I told him I didn't believe him then.
Right. Go ahead. Yeah, but that's the deal with Larry Dallas. He's not going to be doing the reviews anymore. It was just a one-time thing because Conan couldn't do it, and he didn't watch the show. So give the guy a break. All right. Is he chirping on Twitter right now, Joe?
Let's see. Yeah, no, it was like a couple hours ago, but he might still be.
What was he saying?
Explaining why Sting wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Wait, so he's
what explanation could you get? He's doubling down on that.
Go to some of the tweets.
He's telling me people are trashing him.
Go to some of the tweets.
They are. Yeah, I got it right now. Yeah.
All right, let's hear it. Go pull it up. Pull the tweets up.
Okay, how did this start? I want to know how this even started.
What were you? Was this when we were doing the? Was it with us, Conan?
Yeah, it must have been. Okay, no. I think it was at the end of the AEW review, and we were talking about Sting's last match or something like that.
Conan right, I remember that.
Oh, that's right. He was saying like, yeah,
Twitter. How did it get on Twitter?
I think he mentioned him as a potential Hall of Famer. That's how the conversation started.
Well, actually, Mike Holder started, I think, because his tweet here is at JFE3rd, who was the brainchild in bringing Larry to replace Kleinrock. And for some reason, he responded to me. Larry says, "Not
I quote tweeted the response into tweeted Conan." Okay?
And then he saw it. Yeah.
Okay, so then Larry responds. Go ahead.
Did I answer? Let me ask you a question. Did I answer?
No, I don't think you saw it. Yeah. He says, JFE3rd, not every person who was a star when you started watching TV for these fans is a Hall of Fame talent. Doesn't mean they aren't great, just means not Hall of Fame. Conan is because of what he did and drew in Mexico. Sting is a legend, not Hall of Fame. And here's another one. He says, I apologize, Glenn and JFE3rd. When was Sting ever the top guy in the industry? When did he ever draw as a top guy? Didn't they go back to Flair almost immediately by that standards time frame? He's great. He's a legend. He's not Hall of Fame.
Dude.
Okay, so what are people telling him?
So Aaron Salesman here says, Sting's in the WWE Hall of Fame, the TNA Impact Hall of Fame, the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, and the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame based in Wichita Falls, Kansas, and is an actual museum. I think all of that supersedes your opinion.
He's the only guy that answered?
I'm going up. That was for the one.
Let
me see another one. This guy, J12, says, you sound more ridiculous here than when you're trying to pronounce any luchador's name. KG, greater than Larry Dallas.
Wow.
And then this other guy says, you must be trolling Larry. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have Larry on. He's going to be able to comment on that. We'll give him a chance to defend himself for this ludicrous statement that Sting is not Hall of Fame. I'd like to know who he thinks I should go in ahead of Sting. I'd love to hear the names of like guys that Larry think are like Hall of Fame, So I don't know.
And I said it when Larry was on, but I'll reiterate. When Sting wrestled Hogan for the belt, after all that buildup, it was the top drawing WCW pay-per-view of all time. And that's just one example. So,
all right. Okay, next is some Nicholas DeRusha, and the subject is TNA Hall of Fame. Conan and Disco. I used to watch Impact, but I skipped WWE and AEW. Impact now going back to the TNA name and all of Conan's contributions to TNA and Impact. Don't you think he'd be a good candidate for Hall of Fame next year? P.S. Can Conan comment on any future plans of TNA? P.S.S. Will you ever review Impact TNA shows? Love the show, thanks. And that's the Naked Ranger Nick. If Conan wants to find a guy that watches Impact, he can do the review with him and more content. I just do not have time to watch. I watched 3 shows.
I'll do it.
Pay-per-views. Okay, if you want to do it, go ahead.
I do an Impact review. Yeah, I'll watch and I'll do it. But it's up to you.
I don't have enough time. I'm tapped out watching these other shows. So, but if you want to, go ahead. You know,
yeah,
you can watch NXT too. You never know. The next one is from. Was there a question for Conan there?
Do you think Conan would be a good candidate for the Hall of Fame? That's for you.
No.
No,
absolutely. Hey, bro, he sued Impact. How's he going to go in their Hall of Fame? Kidding me? Jesus Christ! And how much of that would you make? How big of cucks would Impact be if they put you in their Hall of Fame after you sued them?
They probably will one day.
Really?
And he also said, so. "Can you comment on any?"
Just so you know,
yeah.
And you can ask Jeff about this. How long are we talking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, it's been a while now. Okay, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he called me to put me in the Hall of Fame, and that's when Scott Diamore took over. And I don't know if they had a Hall of Fame or they put somebody else in there. But sooner or later, they'll invite me.
Do you have any future plans with Impact / TNA you can talk about? The guy asked.
No.
All right, next is from Danny Trouble. And the subject is Meltzer versus Copeland. Lately, it honestly feels like Meltzer can't wait to take shots at Edge's run in AEW. Even when AEW recently had a bump in ticket sales, Meltzer gave credit to Sin Cara, of all people. By the way, Joe, I want you to pull that up. Go to Brandon Thurston. Go to his Twitter timeline, and he has a day-by-day ticket count thing from when Mystico got announced for that show. All right, okay. I want you to pull that up because there's something very interesting. Because I'm going to make a point. I think Dave's ridiculous in thinking that Mystico had some bump here, right? So Danny Trouble, Meltzer versus Copeland. Lately, it feels like Meltzer can't wait to take shots at Edge's run in AEW. Even when AEW recently had a bump in ticket sales, Meltzer gave credit to Sin Cara, of all people. My question is this: how much does he think is Dave Meltzer's opinion? It could be that he's echoing someone else's words. When the fight with CM Punk happened, it was pretty obvious that Meltzer was reporting the words of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Do you think that maybe Adam Copeland taking CM Punk's spot in the company isn't going down well backstage, and the people there are already complaining behind closed doors? Business has not picked up since Edge debuted, and he's been around long enough AEW for his run to be judged and he's been around long enough in AEW for his run to be judged as a dud.
I don't think so, man.
No, well, first of all, the Collision numbers have been up 2 weeks in a row a little bit. Collision, right, has been up, and then AEW Dynamite did 900 last week. All right, so you can't. I don't know how anybody is looking at this and thinking that he's a dud. He's been there like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He's had one match.
Well, it says here for the tickets on October 12th, this Dynamite and Rampage had sold 2,462, and then Mystico was announced, and by the time 5 days later, it went up to 4,457. So he added little less than 2,000.
Yeah, but I also had heard, and you can verify this, Joe, that I don't know what date exactly it was. They started selling tickets 2 for 1.
I did hear that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's why it's okay. Well, it says, and here's the thing.
Well, not only that, why did it correlate in ticket sales and not ratings? Because the ratings went down.
Right. Well, here's the thing. In the +2, you got to look at that number. Joe, go back to that chart. Okay. Well, what's the wording here? Estimated tickets distributed. And you're talking about 2 for 1, so it's like, okay, so it's, whatever. But I'm saying, bro, like you're gonna have.
Can you look it up, Joe, to see what day?
Yeah.
That's basic. That's pretty basic for every show. There's a late run of ticket sales.
Right.
You know, like I mean that's you're going. I mean, if you do that for most shows, you'll have your late run. It'll be gradual, like whether it's like 300, 400 tickets a day for a week or so, and then all of a sudden it gets near the end, and you announce you and plus two. When did they announce Mystical? Was it on one of their shows?
I think it was on
So
social
maybe
media.
All right, maybe I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever. But
What was that
he
thing
didn't
you were
draw-
showing before, Joe?
This
that?
was so since the buy one get one, which was I think 5 days before is what this is saying. They sold over 1,000 tickets since this buy one get one code. It was offered in one section in the building.
So the guy, so Mystical sold 1,000 tickets, 1,200 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so they
Right.
sold, so they had 2,000 tickets then. Would be
Right.
the math. Okay, right. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, 1,000. I mean, yeah, it's like for 1,000 tickets is I mean, we're talking not very significant numbers, which is probably didn't mean anything to the ratings. So 1,000 tickets is not that big of a deal.